Hello and welcome to another exciting episode of ChinnyVision. This time we're looking at Ballblazer on the Atari 8-bits. Ballblazer was by Lucasfilm, and it's one of those games that when you first saw it you went wow, because it was a 3D game that you could play against your mate. The screen was split in two and player one went on the top half and player two played in the bottom half. You can also play against the computer, which is what we're going to do now. You can select different match lengths, and you can also play human against human, or you've got 9 levels of computer players to play against. We're going to select level 3 because I haven't played this for a little while. Level 9 is pretty much impossible from what I remember. In fact, anything above level 6 is pretty much impossible. So you start off, and what you'll notice is your craft, your rotofoil, will always face the ball no matter which direction you're going in, and the computer player's already scored there. You've got to hit the ball between the posts, and you'll also, when you've got the ball, your rotofoil will automatically turn to face the posts. The posts get narrower the more goals you score, which makes the game harder, and you also score more points depending on how far away you were when you hit the ball towards the goal. I'm not doing very well here. The computer player, I've got the ball now. So the ball is now under my influence, and the computer player is chasing after me, and he's pushed the ball away from me. The game sounds quite complicated when you try to explain it, but actually it comes very naturally when you start to actually play the game. The winner is whoever's got the most points after the allotted time passes, in this case 3 minutes. And I'm running off towards the goal now. Can I get... There it is. Should get 2 points if I hit it from here. Yep, there we go, 2 points. It's an amazingly fantastic, fun game to play, and incredibly technically advanced at the time. This game was ported to other systems, the Spectrum, Amstrad, Commodore 64. The C64 version's alright, but it's much slower and not as fun. And there's rather cut-back ports for the Spectrum and Amstrad that are playable, but they nowhere near touch the Atari versions, whether you're playing this on the Atari XL, XE, or the 5200. Whichever Atari version of this you get, it's always fast, it's always fun, it's always the definitive version to play. Computer's running away with the ball again, and it's going to score. Oh, yeah, 2 points there. I think that was quite generous of the computer to award itself 2 points from point blank range there. Right, now I've got the ball. I'm going to run towards the goal, and I'm going to try and score, and there we go. That was luck more than skill. The other thing is the goal's constantly moving left to right. They're not constantly in the same place, which again makes it more of a challenge. There isn't much more to the game than this, and it sounds quite simplistic, but actually it's a game you can play for a long time, especially against a friend. And I've got 1 point there. We've got 1 minute 20 seconds to go, so the computer's going to score some more goals, I expect. The other thing is you can see the points on there on the left-hand side. I've got 5 at the moment, the computer's got 4. If the computer scores again, and you get points deducted, which makes it even worse. So if you get to 10 points before the time passes, you also win the game. So it's not just who's got the most points at the end of the allotted time. We're 5-all at the moment, and the goals will be quite small by now because they will have reduced in size. Most people would have come across this game on cartridge on the Atari 8-bit, I guess, but there is also a port for the 16-bit computers called Ballblazer for the ST and Amiga that came out later. It's fun. It didn't really sell in huge numbers, probably because the game seemed quite old hat by the time the 16-bit, oh dear, but by the time the 16-bit machines came out, and arguably those games didn't really offer much more over the Atari 8-bit version, so why pay £25 when you can just dig your Atari out the cupboard? So we're quite finely poised now. I've got to score another goal in 35 seconds to actually equalise, and if I do equalise, then we go into overtime, and it's the first person to score wins after that. But the computer's doing quite a good job here. It's only a level 3 droid, so I'm quite out of practice on this. Oh, there's the goal. Can I get in there? Oh, no. And as you get to 10 seconds, it starts to tick down on the sound effects. Got to mention the music in this game actually, because it is really, really good. There's some really nice sound effects and atmospheric music as you go on. Can I make it? I'm not gonna do this. I'm too far away. Computer's doing a good job of keeping me away. And no, and there I go spinning around, and I've lost. Ballblazer is probably one of the best games on the Atari 8-bit system. No matter what platform of the Atari 8-bit you go for, it's just a fantastic game. Fantastic as a two-player game, but actually you've got 9 levels of AI to play against, so there's plenty to keep you amused and plenty of challenge. The only thing I will say is, on the more difficult levels of AI, the game pretty much becomes impossible, whereas against a human there's more room for judgment and error, if you see what I mean. You can play against a really good player, but you won't end up just shoved into a corner by the other player, as can happen when playing against the computer. But overall, Ballblazer is a must-play game. If you have to play it on the Commodore 64, then do, but the Atari version really is the one to go for. It's simply one of the best games on the system.